This is the AOHI Starship 140 watt power bank plus power station. It's got a huge 40,000 mAh battery using 21700 cells. It's got an LCD display that displays the mode as well as the input and output wattages of the Starship and the devices being charged. It uses power delivery 3.1 for 140 watt input and output fast charging. It's got two modes, power bank and power station, and it weighs 900 grams. Now I do want to give a huge thank you to AOHI for sending this out to me so I could do this review for you guys today, but this is going to be my own honest review and opinions of this power bank. This has got to be the biggest battery that I have ever reviewed, and like I mentioned before, it's got a 40,000 mAh battery. I'm pretty excited to test this battery out because AOHI says that it can charge a MacBook Pro 16-inch 1.2 times, and we're going to put that to the test because I actually have a 16-inch MacBook Pro. And we also will be doing some other charging tests as well as me showing you everything that this thing can do, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video. So again, this is the Starship, and it actually looks kind of like a power core or something like that you'd actually see on a Starship. It is made of all plastic, but it does not feel cheap. It feels very substantial. It's got some pretty good weight to it, and I think it just looks really cool. So let's take a look around the power bank really quick. On the top here, we've got two USB ports that can do 140 watts. Of course, if you're using them both at the same time, it will cut it down to about 65 watts each. Then we have a USB type A port that can do a max of 18 watts. On the front of the power bank, we do have like this big clear piece. It does look like the whole thing is a display, but it's actually got the display at the very top right here. On the side here, we do have a power button at the top, and if we hold that in for a few seconds, it'll turn on the LCD screen. I don't know if you guys can see that underneath the screen there. It is a little light, but it is displaying how much battery percentage we have on the power bank itself, and it does show the mode we're in and the wattages that the power bank is being charged at, as well as devices being charged if we had something plugged in. And if we look at the bottom of the power bank here, we do have that 140 watt USB Type-C for charging the power bank itself, as well as using this as the power station. And I'll explain that in just a few minutes. And then if we look at the back of the power bank, it does show all of its wattages, inputs, and everything like that. Now, unfortunately, this is not going to be airline friendly because it is 144 watt hours. You will have to check your airline that you're taking to see if it actually has any limitations, but typically airline safe power banks are only about 100 watt hours. Now, because this power bank is so big, you should not have any problems charging up pretty much any device that you're going to have, whether it be big or small. And AOHI says that you can charge a MacBook Pro 16-inch 1.2 times. You can charge an iPad Pro 12.9 6 times. You can charge an iPhone 14 7 times, and a Galaxy S23 6 times. Now, as of right now, my Starship is sitting at 0%, so I need to charge it up to 100% to charge any of my devices. Now, to do that, I'm going to be using a 140 watt power adapter, as well as AOHI's charging cable set. Now, I've been using this charging cable for quite a long time now. It's got a nice thick soft silicone cable, and it can charge up to 240 watts. And if you guys want to check this out, I will be putting product links to the power station as well as this cable in the video description. And while we're charging the Starship, you can also see what the LCD shows while we're charging. So I'm going to plug my cable into the bottom port of the Starship. You can see that the charging cable does light up yellow to show that it is fast charging. Then we'll zoom in on the LCD here so you guys can see. Turn off my lights so you can see the LCD a little better. So as you can see here, we are in power bank mode. My battery is at 0% charge, and the input is showing about 133 watts. So it's pretty much taking full advantage of that 140 watt adapter that I'm using right now. And AOHI also says that it takes about an hour and a half to totally charge up this power bank using a 140 watt adapter. So right now it's 2:18, and we'll come back in an hour and a half and we'll see where the charge is at. All right, so it's been an hour and a half now. It is 3:50, and we're going to see where we are on our charge. So as you can see, we're sitting at 99%. It's almost at 100%. It should only take maybe about another 5 to 10 minutes to totally reach 100%. But as you can see, it's gone way down in the wattage. We're only using about 10 watts right now to charge up the battery, and that's because it's almost charged. So it about takes an hour and a half using a 140 watt power adapter. All right, so here we are 10 minutes later. It's about an hour and 40 minutes in, and the charging has stopped at 99%, and it is no longer charging. So I'm assuming it's at about 100%. It's just still showing 99. And as far as the heat goes, the power bank is just warm. It's not super hot, so you don't have to worry about that. So now that the power bank is charged up to 100%, we're going to start charging our devices, and we're going to start off with testing the MacBook Pro 16-inch. Now AOHI says that you can charge your MacBook from 0 to 56% in about 30 minutes. So we're going to test that out. Now to get close to the full 140 watts out that we need to charge up our MacBook, you're going to need to use the original MagSafe cable that came with your MacBook. So first I want to show you that I am sitting at 1% battery life, which is pretty close to being dead. So I'm going to shut off my MacBook. And now we'll plug in the power bank. And if we take a look at the power bank here, you can see that it is displaying the wattage out to our MacBook, and it looks like it's sitting at about 120 watts. So now we're going to let it sit for 30 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll see what the MacBook's battery status is at. So here, as you can see, it is 6:13, and we have about 29 minutes left. All right, so it's been 30 minutes. It is now 6:43. We're going to turn on my MacBook Pro, and we'll see what the battery level is sitting at. And the AOHI battery is sitting at 52%. We're still charging at about 115 watts. Put in my password really quick. So if we take a look at the battery level up here, we are at 57%. So it's true. Sorry, I had to close out all of my pop-ups. So if I open up the battery again here, you can see we are sitting at 57%. So it is true, it'll charge up the MacBook Pro 16-inch to 56% in 30 minutes. So now I'm going to let my MacBook Pro charge up the rest of the way to 100%, and we'll see what the power bank is left with for the battery. All right, so here we are back an hour later. So it's been an hour and 30 minutes since we totally started to charge the MacBook Pro from 0 to 100%. It looks like it might be done charging. So we're going to open it up, take a look. So let's check out our battery. And we're at 100%. So it pretty much only took about an hour and a half to totally charge the MacBook Pro from 0 all the way up to 100% using the power bank. So now let's see the battery level in our power bank. And it looks like we have 7% left. So now what we're going to do is try to charge up some other devices that you might have with you along with your MacBook, such as an iPad or even your iPhone. So now that we know that the power bank can charge up a MacBook Pro 16-inch from 0 to 100%, we're going to try to charge up my iPhone 15 Pro Max here. So my 15 is sitting at about 4% battery life, and the power bank is sitting at 7% battery life. So I want to see if we can use the rest of the charge to charge up my iPhone 15 Pro Max totally. So we'll plug this in. So now we're charging up my iPhone. And if we take a look at the power bank here, we can see that it's charging at about 26 watts. So we'll come back when the iPhone is done charging, and we'll see if there's any battery life left in the power bank. And it's 11:03 just to see how long it takes to charge the phone. All right, so the power bank is now totally dead. We're sitting at 0%. It is not no longer charging my iPhone, and my iPhone is sitting at 65%. So in about 37 minutes, it took my phone from 4% charge all the way up to 65. That's pretty quick. Now, even though your battery is totally depleted, you can still use it in what AOHI calls its power station mode, which means you can now plug this into your wall adapter and you can still charge 3 devices using the USB Type-C ports as well as USB Type-A. And if you're wondering if it's going to affect your batteries at all in this power station, don't worry, because AOHI says that it has an independent circuit, so when it's in its power station mode, it bypasses the batteries and uses power directly from the wall, which will increase the life of your batteries. So to switch this from its power bank mode to its power station mode, all you need to do is simply plug in the power bank to a wall adapter, so it'll start charging. So as you can see, the power bank is now charging and we're still in power bank mode. Then all you need to do is start plugging in other devices into the power bank itself. So we'll plug this into the USB Type-C port. It'll start to charge my iPhone, and you'll notice that it's now changed from power bank to charger station mode. So now not only is it charging up the batteries in the power bank, but it's also bypassing the batteries to now use the wall adapter to charge up your devices. As you can see, it's showing the wattage it's using to charge the power bank as well as our iPhone. So then we'll plug in one more device, which is my Galaxy S24 Ultra. We'll plug that into the other USB Type-C port. You'll see that it is super fast charging my Galaxy S24 Ultra, and the other USB Type-C port is now showing that we're using about 27 watts to charge up my Galaxy S24 Ultra. Another really cool thing about this power bank is it does have a little status LED here, and it lights up blue when we're standard charging. It lights up yellow with a little breathing mode, which kind of shows right here when it's fast charging, and in its low current state, it'll show green as always on. And then we can plug in one more device using the USB Type-A port. So we'll plug that in, and we'll charge up my Galaxy tablet. So as you can see, the Galaxy tablet is now fast charging, and now we have all 4 power banks on the LCD display showing wattages to charge up all of our devices. Now, when you're using all 3 ports at the same time, you're going to only be able to get a max of 65 watts each per USB Type-C port and a max of 18 watts with the USB Type-A. But as you can see, it's more than enough wattage to fast charge your devices. So that's a very convenient feature, especially when a power bank is totally dead. You don't have to wait for it to charge up to charge all of your devices. Again, you can easily use the ports and use this in its power station mode. So now you don't have to carry around 3 different wall adapters for all 3 of your devices. You just need the one wall adapter with the power station. This power bank is also capable of charging very small devices, such as a pair of Samsung earbuds too. You can just simply plug that into the USB Type-C port. You can see it'll start charging, and it's only using about 1.3 watts. So if you have smaller devices, you can also charge them up very easily with this power bank as well. The power bank also has an automatic off feature, so if it's not being used, you don't have to worry about manually turning it off. It'll automatically shut off by itself after about a minute. So this is definitely a great piece of tech to have in your book bag, whether you're using it on the go or at home, especially if you need to charge up larger devices, just like a MacBook Pro 16-inch. This is the first power bank that I've ever used that was capable of charging a MacBook Pro from 0 to 100% and still have charge left to charge up some other devices. Like I mentioned before, it does not feel cheap. It feels very solid. It does have some weight to it. I do appreciate the fact that it does have an LCD display. The only thing is, I wish it was a little brighter. As you can see, if you're using the power bank in a brighter environment, the LCD is on right now and it's a little hard to see. Of course, if you don't have any lights on at all, you can very easily see it, but if there's any light like we have here in my studio or an office, it's a little hard to see. I also really like the fact that it does have the bypass mode that allows you to use your power bank as kind of like a USB hub without it affecting the longevity of your batteries. This power bank, for as big as it is, it also charges up super quick, and it also charges your devices very quickly as well. I'm really happy to have this in my collection because it will come in handy, especially when I'm out on trips and things like that. And if you guys want to pick one up yourself, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.